Everybody was in church one Sunday, and before the pastor was preaching, he said God won't give everybody the desires of their heart, but when you hold stuff in, it block your blessing. And I took that home with me, and everybody, my father was my best friend. And when he died, it hurt us so much, I wish I didn't have a father. I mean, that's how tight we was. So I used what the pastor told me, and I wrote a piece called, "One of the best days of my life was the day my father died." Except for childbirth, when my children cried, one of the best days of my life was the day my father died. Even though with my hands, my tears I tried to hide, inside this day, I saw the hands of God. When he got to the hospital, you can see how his body is shredded. Look the x-ray, you can see how the cancer is spreading. And when the doctor looked at me, it just didn't look right. He said that he doubted if he'd make it through midnight. Everybody looked at me to see what I was willing. If I kept on life support, I'd be selfish. But if I took him off, I would kill him. My mother was quiet. She never said a thing. But when she opened her hands, there was 2 wedding rings. They never legally married, but for tonight they planned it. I was asking God for help, but at the same time thinking, dang it. I just want to put him inside the ground so his death could be given. My mother said that just wasn't your father, that was my best friend. My older brother took over, started to speak on it. He said, everybody, let's go home and rest. We all need to sleep on it. Being I worked at the hospital, I was able to get the blood work. This is when I saw Jesus Christ's love work. I'm from Newark. My city's not that small. To get the marriage certificate, we had to go to City Hall. My father's in his 50s. His death had come early. This was New Year's Eve. A lot of workers went home early. But to help us out, a lot of people that was willing, but everybody agreed there wasn't one judge inside the building. While this was happening, I couldn't put my hands on it. That was because Jesus had his hands on it. One of the superiors heard the tears that dripped. He said, never in his life has I heard a story like this. This is when I continued to learn what Jesus' love is about. He sent my brother with a state trooper to the judge's house. As my Savior went to work, the judge filled out the paperwork. I was in a lot of pain, but this pain, it didn't hurt. When he got back to the hospital, they gave us a private room. They shaved his face, even the nurses put on perfume. But still, for some reason, I still couldn't cry. I said, Dad, you accept Jesus? He said, Stacy, why shouldn't I? This is a lesson that was taught. Is heaven and hell fought? Just for 1 hour, death was put on life support. As time rose to the heavens, prayer became a weapon. When I looked around, out of nowhere came the reverend. They said each other vows, to each other sung a song. They put each other rings, just like that, he was gone. Death became the honeymoon, but I saw a smile inside the sky. One of the best days of my life was the day my father died.